Hello everyone, and welcome back. In this video, I thought I would just show the road up to Cerro Gordo. A lot of people ask about the road, and in this video, it's going to be kind of boring, but it will allow anyone who wants to see it just what the road looks like, basically from the bottom to the top. Before driving up the mountain, I always recommend to people that they air down their tires a little bit, at least to 30 psi, but 20 to 25 psi is definitely a lot better. As you can see, the bottom is pretty straightforward. It's a little bit of an incline, but basically just a gravel road. As you ascend the road, you enter the first bit of the canyon areas. As you come into this first canyon area, if you look up to the right, you can see one of the tram buckets still hanging from the tram line. This part here, the road begins to narrow and the corners begin to be difficult to see around. I find a good tip is to look for a dust cloud, that way you know when a car is coming. You'll see a lot of kind of half speed bumps in the road, and that's where the grader has hit a rock. You can go around these sections. I don't recommend running over them because it makes a pretty big bump. You can see as you're going up, there's plenty of turnouts along the way. So if there is a car coming, it's pretty easy to either back up or let the other car pass. The canyon widens out for a little while and gives you some pretty awesome views to the left and right. Up ahead is the section known as the Narrows. As I mentioned, this is the area known as the Narrows. It's pretty easy to see why they call it that. There are, of course, turnouts on the top and bottom of the most narrow section. This area of road is a little bit more rough as well. It's a little bit more hard to grade, and there's some rocks just below the surface. But again, if you watch where you're going, you can definitely steer around these. I didn't actually have anything to say here, but this was a pretty long section of silence, so I thought I'd say something. I did see a big lizard. As you drive up the mountain, you'll notice that there are old mining artifacts all along the way, such as this old ore bin. There are also a bunch of mine shafts along the way as well. Just up ahead on the left, there's a wide turnout and a good viewpoint area. This area is fairly steep and usually has some pretty bad washboard, although you can drive to the left and right of the main ruts, and that sometimes allows you to go around that. So, how about them Yankees? After this steep section, it goes through another small canyon area and then opens back up into the Joshua Tree Grove. You'll notice the Joshua trees grow really thick here, but as you drive up the mountain, they start to disappear, and at a certain point, they just won't grow above that elevation. Some of these Joshua trees are absolutely massive, and you can tell they're very old. There are probably hundreds of Joshua trees in this area. It's pretty awesome. This area is a pretty good spot to pull over if your car is getting a little bit warm as well. You can get out, take some pictures, let the car cool down, get back in, and head back up the mountain. I have this digital gauge that gives me the readouts on my water temp and my transmission temps, so I monitor those as I drive up the hill. Again, it is strongly recommended that you bring a four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive when you come up this road. Two-wheel drive cars just don't do very good, and they also tend to tear up the road a little bit. Continuing up the mountain, you head through the hills again, and you pass another ore chute on your left. After this tight hairpin corner to the left, you're getting much closer to the town. Keep going. This last section makes people a little bit nervous, but the road is wider than it seems. There are some turnouts, and the hairpin to the right up ahead is also wider than it looks. This is the final hairpin before you get up to the town. From here on, it's pretty much straight and uphill. Again, you can see turnouts all along the way. That way, if somebody does come, it allows you a lot of places to be able to pull over. Alright, you're at the last section before you get a nice view of the town. As you drive into the town, you'll pass a Welcome to Cerro Gordo sign, and up ahead on your left, you'll see a parking sign. There's a front parking lot and a back parking lot. Feel free to pull in and find yourself a spot. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you guys up here at Cerro Gordo in the future.